Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. I want to say another thank you to everyone that's been supporting me and leaving lovely comments on my previous videos. My channel is still very new and it's really encouraging and really lovely to have so much support already, and that's part of the reason why I was so excited to make this video for October's completed pages, because of the response I got on my first one, so I just want to say thank you again. So October was a really good month for me. I managed to colour 8 pages, which is probably about average for me, but the pages that I did colour, I'm really happy with them. A lot of them were really labour intensive, a couple of them had been whipped for a while, so yeah, I'm very happy that I've managed to complete so many pages and so many pages that I really like, and I hope that you guys will also enjoy them as well. I did one Halloween inspired page. I had a couple started, but as ever, a lot of them have remained whips, but I did manage to complete one spooky page, which we'll get to in a moment. But first of all, I just want to start off with Alien Worlds. So last month, I think you remember, I completed this page, which I'm really happy with, and a lot of you seem to enjoy it as well. So I decided I wanted to do another page in this book, which up until now has only had one whip in, so I'm really glad that I've now got 2 completed pages in this book. So the page that I did this month was this page, and I'll bring it up to the camera so you guys can see all the gold gel pen that I've got all over here. But I absolutely love doing this page. I think it's come out really well. I love the colours. I really enjoy these alien creatures here. I love the way I've coloured them with their leaves that become part of their head. That was really cool. I kept the colour scheme as limited as I could, really. I really do like to go with bright colours, and I've certainly got some bright colours on here, but I didn't want to add in too many colours for this page. I wanted to keep it kind of cohesive. So the background is a lilac paint pen. So I got these paint pens, I'll show you. So I got these two sets of paint pens a very long time ago from the works. I think I got them like 6 months ago or something, and they're a really good price. Each one is only £8. And you may be thinking, there isn't a purple paint pen, and that's true. But this light pink actually comes out purple. It comes out this colour here, which is a happy accident because otherwise I wouldn't have any light purple paint pens. So even though the marker does not match the colour of the lid, it is a really nice background colour in itself, this lovely pastel purple. So that's what I decided to do first, and then I went back to that first page that I had done here, and I looked at how I'd done his headdress, with a colour in the background and then darker colour for the embellishments and then gold around it. So that's what I did here. You can see I've got a lighter colour for the petals of this flower bulb that the aliens are crawling about on, and then I've got a darker purple paint pen for the details. This is all a paint pen here, and then I've used a gold gel pen to get those really cool details, and I did that on every flower, as you can see. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it came out really well. I hope it does Kirby's work justice because he's one of my favourite artists of all time, and this was one of my favourite pictures that he's ever done, and I'm very happy with it. Yeah, and I'm happy that Alien Worlds has got a bit of love recently, because as of now I only have those 2 completed pages in this book. Hopefully next month there'll be some more. There's a page that I'm really wanting to do. Yeah, this one. I really want to do this page. And maybe this one actually. Either of these I'd be really happy to do. I can imagine it looking really good. Okay, let's move on to... Oh, let's do Hannah Carlzon. Yeah. So I did another page in Daydreams, which is an absolutely beautiful book that I'm sure lots and lots of you have. It's been around for a very long time now. It's beloved as it should be. And the page that I did was this one. So there you can see the intensity of the shine I've managed to get on these wings. I used that Galeria iridescent medium again on the wings, along with some stickles, and it's come out really, really well. And then for the background here, I have used Neocolor 2s, so it's looking really nice down here. It's all faded and blended quite nicely here. And then up here, I struggled a little bit with the blending. Neocolors, they're still something that I struggle with, even though I'm really happy with the outcome here. There's still something that I'm struggling with and trying to learn how to get a good blend and to do good backgrounds with them. And I think to a certain extent I always will be. But I don't really mind because I really like using them. So it's just an excuse to use them more, I think. For the rest of them, I really, really, really liked these flowers that I did here. I think that blue is absolutely beautiful. So it is a brush pen that I got from WH Smith's. I got a pack of their pastel brush pens, and they're really excellent, actually, really nice quality. And this blue that they have is really gorgeous. So I went over all the flowers with that as a base, and then I used some Artex pencils. I think the colour I used was Peacock Blue, and then a few more colours to blend it out, to get the really nice shading on these flowers. The Artex pencils have done a really good job of getting this really nice, intense colour. I really like them. I find them very, very beginner friendly for someone who's only been colouring with pencils for about a year. And then I've used white pen to highlight some of the edges of the flowers, which I think has come out really well. I was really struggling on what to do for the leaves, so I ended up just using a Tombow Dual brush pen in this sort of nice minty colour, and then I've used Artex pencils again. I think the colour was Parrot Green, to do the shading. One thing I will say about the Artex pencils is that because they're really pigmented and they're quite waxy, they went over this Neocolor really well. So even the places where the Neocolor had gone over onto the leaves, or these little tiny bits here, the pencil was able to cover it up really nicely. So I think that's improved the sort of overall finished product. I also did a lot of splatters with the Neocolors around the edges, just to try and get this background blended out, make it look a bit more cohesive. I used some blue and some of the pink. It's okay. I think I could have done a bit more with this page, but I am happy with the intensity of the shine that I've got, and I'm happy with the colours. I think they look really nice. So yeah, another one done in Daydreams. This page has been a whip for a very long time. It's not finished yet. I am liking the way her hair is coming out. I think it's looking really nice. I intentionally used the same Neocolor here so that it would have a sort of cohesion between the pages, but hopefully in the next few months this one will be complete soon. But yeah, really good book, and really happy with the outcome of that one. So now we'll move on to my Halloween page that I did, and the colours are quite similar actually. So it's in this book, which is the French Furballs book. Oh, is that in focus? There we go. So it is in this book, which I call the French Furballs book. Again, a lot of people have this. I think is it Diane Dufour? Yeah, Diane Dufour. Brilliant artist. This book is beautiful, absolutely stunning. And the page I did was this one. There you go. Bring it forward. Yeah, so this was the Halloween-y page that I did for October. I never usually really colour with the seasons or with the sort of holidays, but I decided I really wanted to do this page. I saw someone online do this in pastel colours, and I really do apologise because I can't remember who it was, but it just made me realise that you can do pumpkins in any colour you want, and I just saw this as needing to have pastel pumpkins, all these really bright sort of candy coloured pumpkins. So first of all, I did the background, which was an acrylic paint. I think it's an Amsterdam pink acrylic paint. It's a really good paint. It goes on really smooth, it goes on nice and matte, very easy to work with, very pigmented. Would recommend that. And then I used a slightly purple paint, and then over the top with a white acrylic paint to do these clouds, and I think they look very effective as a background. I'm happy with that. It's something that I've done quite a lot in colouring books before, so I know it always looks good, and it's a very easy thing to do as well. I then went over everything else with oh no, first of all I did the floor with gouache paint. I really like this colour. I want to continue using this colour in this book as well, because on some of my other pages you'll see I've got the same colour running through it. So I want to continually use this colour to have a bit of cohesion through the pages. So after I did that with the gouache, I went in with water-based brush pens, and I based all these bright colours. I based the cats with grey. I based the leaves with green. I tried to use the same green that I've used here, again to bring over the colour to have a little bit of cohesion. And I based the stems and everything else with brown. And then I went over them using a mixture of my Polychromos pencils, which work really nicely in this book. And I used my Artex pencils, which are really good pencils, really good budget brand. They're not like mega budget, you know, they're not Crayola prices. But the Artex pencils are a really good option for someone who wants a really pigmented, really easy to use pencil. So yeah. And then I just did a little bit of shadowing on the floor down here, and that was about it. Really a surprisingly quick page. I did this all in one sitting, and I mean, it's not surprising when you realise how small these books are. You know, like here's a Lulu Mayo book in comparison. So this book is really quite small. You know, it's the same that way, but these are square, so they're really small. So these pages do get done very quickly, which is another reason why I really like this book. Probably one of my favourite ones that I have. So much so that I actually did another page in this book, which is this one, the sleeping fox here. And I think he's come out so well. I really love all the leaves in the background. Basically, I just did a base of the entire background with a green Neo colour, just to get this sort of green colour down. And then I did coloured pencil work for all the leaves. I just sort of took random green and brown and then coloured them in this pattern, sort of without a pattern, sorry, just in a random sort of arrangement of colours. But I think it's come out really, really well. And then the fox I did really, really quickly. I just based it with Tombow Gel brush pen, and then I went over it with my Artex pencils again, and some Polychromos for just very, very simple shading. So, but yeah, this was very labour intensive to do all the leaves, but I just did this at work. I just sat, and it sat underneath my keyboard. My keyboard was up here, and when I had 5 minutes in between calls at work, I would just do some leaves. The great thing about my job is that when I'm not taking a call, when I'm not speaking to a member of the public, I don't really have anything else to do, so I'm allowed to do something that is non-intrusive, like a colouring book, you know, as long as it's small and it gets out of the way, and as long as I'm not doing it when I'm on a call, of course. But that's one of the perks of having the job that I do, and that I really enjoy it, which is good. So next, I have possibly my favourite page of the month. It's up there. I showed you a sneak peek of it last month in this book, A Million Magical Creatures by Lulu Mayo, which is a book that's quite new to me, but I'm already in love with it. And this page that I did was the frog. I'll zoom out a little bit for this. There you go. And I just think he's wonderful. I've got quite a lot of stickles on the bubbles that are around him, so you can see the shimmer there. I'm really very proud of his coat. It looks like a crushed velvet jacket. in this lovely deep blue colour. The background I did with coloured pencils. It is a soft gradient from orange to pink, like a sunset. Again, I just did this at work. It took a very long time, but I didn't mind because I was just mindlessly doing it whilst I was at work. And then the rest of it is based with Tombow dual brush pens mostly. There are a couple of other different brands of brush pens, but I can't really remember. It's mostly Tombows. And then I went over it with my polychromos, which work really, really well in Lulu Mayo's books. Yeah, the polychromos are really great to use in these. I was really happy with my flower down here. I based it in pink and then I went over it in purple, and it gave it this really cool look. And I just think it's come out really, really well. If I was going to do this again, I don't think I'd change anything. I would just do it the same, because I think he's just come out really well. And I love this illustration. Lulu Mayo's pages are just amazing, and it's a pleasure to colour them. It really is. So that is another one done in this book. I now have 2 pages done in this book, which is great, an improvement. Oh, next up I have another one of my favourite pages. So I've got 2 pages done in this book. It is Rita Berman's The World Under the Water book. So if you saw my haul video, you'd know this is quite a new book to me. I had a whip in it at that point, and now I have 2 completed pages, or 3, depending on if you count a double page spread as 2 pages or 1. I'd usually consider it as 1 because I did complete it just as 1 page, doing both pages at once. But yeah, let's have a look. So it was this double page spread. So I'll show you this side first. I'm much happier with this side than I am of the other side, so I'll show you it up close. And then the other side. Lots of white paint pen detailing on these. So yeah, the background I used watercolour pencils. So I used a mixture of Albert Dürer watercolour pencils. I have a new set of those, which I'm really enjoying using. And I used a single purple Goldfaber Aqua watercolour, because in the Albert Dürer set there isn't a good purple. The purple is kind of a burgundy mulberry colour, which is not what I wanted for this page. I wanted a deep bluish purple. So that's what I used. And I just coloured sort of randomly with the pencils, added in splashes of the purple, and then activated it with water. And then when there were bubbles on the page, I used white paint pen to go over the bubbles. I based these anemones with Neocolor 2s, and then I did some detailing with my Tombow dual brush pens. So if you look at the sort of the way it's been coloured, there's no pencil work on these apart from in the centres. All the edges is just pen work and Neocolor 2s, which has come out really well, I think. And then on this side, I based the tentacles with, are they called tentacles if it's an enemy? I don't know, I'll call them tentacles. I based them with Tombow dual brush pens, my favourite, bright coral pink, and I went over them with polychromos. That gave it this really great darkened shadow, and then lots of white pen detailing, of course. So yeah, for my first page in this book, I think I'm very, very happy with the outcome. I think the colours are nice. I'm really happy with this. Yeah, I wish I'd done all the anemones this colour, honestly, because they just come out really nicely. But yeah, very, very pleased with this. It was a labour of love. It took forever to do this page. But I'm glad I've done it because I love Rita Berman's work. And it's made me absolutely love this book and want to colour every single page that I turn to. Honestly, look at that. Stunning. Oh, absolutely love it. So I have done another page in this book as well. Let me try and find it. Close to the back, was it? Or was it? Where was it? Ah, here we go. It was quite a simple page. It was this one. There you go. So yeah, like I said, it was fairly simple. There wasn't really much to colour. I did this all in one sitting. I had a really lovely time. The background is done in watercolour, but it's a mixture of a normal blue watercolour and a shimmer one. So if you look carefully, the background has some sort of shimmer to it, which has come out really well. I just did this off a palette. And then all the other elements of the page were based with brush pens. So a lot of Tombow dual brush pens, a lot of, I think it's King Art brush pens, and then some other like generic unbranded ones. I think maybe Corella Super Tips. I just used anything I had, honestly. But it has come out really nicely. And then I did some shading, of course, with Artex and Polychromos, and then a lot of white pen work as well. I did white pen on some of these bubbles, and then white pen around this jar. And I think that's come out really well. It looks a bit hazy on this jar. But I'm very happy with it. I'm happy with how the colours balanced, and I'm really happy with my sea floor here. I did a sort of speckling effect with brush pens, and it's come out really, really well. Yeah, really happy with it. But I absolutely love doing this page, and I'm still absolutely in love with this book. It's definitely my favourite Rita Berman book that I've ever seen. I've only got 2 of them, but I've watched a lot of flip-throughs, and this was my favourite one. So yeah, very excited to do a lot more in this book. And then finally, we have A Million Little Monsters. And this book I'm trying to complete eventually, so I'm glad that I've got another page done in here. I'm nowhere near done with this book, but it's probably a book I've got the most pages completed, which is good because I really enjoy it. Lulu Mayo, again, one of my favourite artists, and I hope to have this book completed hopefully by this time next year. That would be good because it's quite a spooky book, and to have it done by Halloween 2025 would be cool, I think. The page I'm not quite so thrilled about. It's done, which is good. But the page was this one, and I've actually call it my Super Mario page. There we go. Because it looks a bit like Super Mario Land with all the bright colours and the mushrooms and the pink castle, like Peach's castle. It wasn't what I intended, but it is how it's turned out. I think the whole thing is a bit busy. I think there's too many colours, and I really don't like the colour I chose for the grass. I think it's awful. So I was very put off doing this page for a long time, so it's been a whip for ages. But then I just went back to it, and I only had 10 minutes worth of colouring left, so I just did some block colouring on these other characters, like this one and these ones. They don't have any shading or anything on them. But I am very pleased with how this sky has turned out. I think it looks really nice. The clouds look really lovely. This monster is so cute. This one's very cute as well. And yeah, it's another completed page, which is good. Like I said, I have a lot of uncompleted pages in this one. I have a lot of completed pages. You've seen these. But yeah, very happy to have another one done in this book. And that is the final completed page I have for October of 2024. Obviously I worked in a lot more books. I have a lot of whips ongoing, so I have done a lot of colouring this month. I just haven't got that many completed pages out of it. Like I said, I do have another Halloween one started, so that might pop up in my November video, or I might just not go back to it. I'm not precious about completing my whips, obviously. So yeah, I think my favourite one for the month is gonna have to be yeah, it's gonna have to be this one. It's gonna have to be my frog. He's just so pretty. I absolutely love him. Although I've got a soft spot in my heart for this page. There we go. Big soft spot in my heart for that one. I think the colours are lovely. And then of course, Alien Worlds. This page, I think it's come out really well as well. yeah, I'm really, really happy with this page and this page, the one I did last month. Let me find him again. There we go. Because I've had this book for like 18 months and I hadn't done anything in it apart from a whip, which is incomplete. My whip was this one. But now it's made me think that I can come back and I can work in this book and have a lot of fun. And this book has now become one of my favourites that I have. Like, I can see myself doing any of these pages because I've done those two now. Even some of the really insane ones. Like, look at that. There's just so much to do in this book. But also the paper in this book. I've really fallen in love with it. And it's the same for all of Kirby's books. I have quite a few of them. The paper is excellent. I've thrown a lot of stuff at this paper. I've thrown paint pens, fine liners, brush pens that are very juicy. Like, I've thrown a lot of stuff. I haven't done like watercolor paint or anything, and I'm not sure whether I would because I don't really want to warp this paper. But all the other stuff that I've thrown at it, it's taken really well, and my pencils work really nicely on it because it's really quite smooth, but it's not completely smooth that it feels plasticky. There's still a tiny bit of grip in it, and I find that works really, really well for my Artex pencils and my polychromos. And I have some Amazon Basics pencils as well, which work really well in this book. Like that page. Oh, I really want to do this one. She feels like a female alien, this one. She feels like a woman. I really want to do that. Oh, I can imagine a really bright background on this. Yeah. But I never thought I'd ever say this, but Alien World is my current favourite Kirby book, which is wild. But very welcome because I can't wait to get started again and do another page in this book. So I'm going to try and do a page in in November and in December. That's going to be my challenge, to get 2 more pages done in Alien Worlds by the end of the year. And I'm only setting myself a task of 2 because they're very detailed pages and I want to make sure they're good because I love this book so much. So yeah, that'll be sort of a very soft focus book for me over the next few months. But yeah, thank you very much for sticking around. I'm very excited for next month's wrap-up video. I've already got a lot of pages started, a lot of whips I want to finish, a lot of pages I want to continue with, and it's going to be a good sign, I think. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Bye.